Hello? Hello?
Right. Hello, everyone. And I get some feedback somewhere. Can we just mute ourselves? Right. Very good afternoon from here, from Glasgow, Scotland, the United Kingdom. My name is Emmanuel Salifu, the Publicity Secretary of the NSE Glasgow branch. And it's my singular honor and privilege to welcome you to this very historic event. It's the inauguration ceremony of the Nigerian Society of Engineers Glasgow branch in Scotland, UK, the 81st branch to be established of the Nigerian Society of Engineers. And it's a very historic one because, the Nigerian Society of Engineers actually started in the United Kingdom. It was first inaugurated in London in 1958. And 60 years after, it came full cycle with the establishment of the Nigerian Society of Engineers London branch. And today, we're extending the tentacles of the same society all the way up north of the United Kingdom to Scotland, the United Kingdom, by the establishment of this first branch of the NSE in Scotland, the NSE Glasgow branch. The branch was actually established in September, the year of coronavirus 2020, but then due to, of course, the fact that we wouldn't see each other and gather together for events as we would have wanted it, the inauguration has been delayed till today. But good enough, we have it today, and by the provision of online opportunity, we can have a very good number of all of us gathered together to celebrate this very, very auspicious occasion today. Right, I'd like to first begin by introducing my co-MC, actually someone who will be assisting me to do this, and that's no other person but engineer Dr. Mrs. Olufumilade Akingbaohun, FNSC. She's the deputy chair of NIMEC-E and the former chair of NSC Ikeja branch. Thank you so much. She'll be coming on later on to handle some segments of this program. Right, we'll begin by having the national anthem and an opening prayer, and thereafter we'll run through the program as you see displayed on your screen right now. We'll have the introduction of dignitaries, welcome addresses by the branch chairman, the NSC president, remarks from our guests of honor, and the talk by our guest speaker who's already in the house, and of course, goodwill messages, the inauguration itself, and presentation of e-plaques to some awardees and honorees. It promises to be a very wonderful one, and I trust me, you will enjoy every bit of the next couple of hours we'll be spending together. All right, so we begin now with a very quick message from our sponsors before we get on with the next. Great. If you just compose yourselves, we will begin now with the Nigerian national anthem. I would invite the Secretary General of the NSE Glasgow branch to lead us in the opening prayer. The prayer is the second stanza of the Nigerian national anthem. Engineer Charles Okafor, please lead us in the prayer.
Thank you very much, Dr. Emmanuel. Can we just pray? O God of creation, direct our noble course, guide our leaders right, help our youth the truth to know, in love and honesty to grow, and living just and true. Great lofty heights attain, to build a nation where peace and justice shall reign. Thank you very much.
Thank you very much.
Emmanuel.
Thanks for that. Right. Again, just to say, for some housekeeping, kindly keep yourselves mute throughout the session, except of course you're invited to unmute yourself and speak. And secondly, and very importantly, if you'd kindly rename yourself, appropriately. If you've joined in with iPhone, is it iPhone 12 now or iPhone 17? I don't know. I mean, we just want to identify you directly. So kindly rename yourself appropriately. And then when you be called upon to speak, for instance, you can be highlighted, and we can also call you up in case we need that. Also, feel free to place goodwill messages or questions or inquiries of any kind in the chat box, and we'll pick them up as we go on and address them accordingly. Moving on, I'll be inviting now the chairman of the NSE Glasgow branch, the pioneer chairman of the branch, for his opening remarks. Engineer Dr. Olusegun Adedeniro.
Yeah, thank you, Dr. Emmanuel. Thanks for the introduction. Just a quick one, just enter safety part of the program, just to tell everyone that if there's at any time during the program, you need to move around for health reason, water or anything, please feel free to do that, just for us to be conscious because of COVID and other things that is around. Hopefully we are all keeping safe. Thanks everyone. Good afternoon, everyone. Thank you for joining us to mark this special event. The chairman of this occasion, NSE President Engineer Babagana Mohammed FNSC, all the NSE current council members and the UK Engineering Council representatives. Our guest speaker, Emeritus Professor Olufemi Bamiru FNSC, our special guest of honor, the Executive Governor of Borno State, Engineer Professor Babagana Zulu, the Executive Governor of Nasarawa State, Engineer Abdullahi Sule, FNSC, the Executive Governor of Ebonyi State, Dr. Dave Umar, FNSC, the Deputy Governor of Lagos State, Engineer Dr. Kadri, the High Commissioner of Nigeria to the UK representative. Thanks everyone for joining us. Our protocol duly observed. Just a quick introduction of how the NSE Glasgow being established. On behalf of members and executives of NSE Glasgow branch, I'm very pleased to welcome you all to this occasion. Today's event is to mark our inauguration as the 81st branch of the NSE, having satisfied the provision of Article 17 of Memorandum and Articles of Association of the NSE. As my colleague said, the NSE as a society was first established in the UK in 1958. The NSE Glasgow branch was created in 2018 as a protein branch out of the need to have a platform in Scotland that could enable engineers residing in Scotland to contribute towards the development of engineering profession in Nigeria. The establishment of NSE Glasgow branch was approved by the NSE Council in September 2020. Just more on the journey. The journey of establishing this branch started with immediate past president, the Nigeria Society of Engineers, Engineer Adekunle Mokolu FNSC, through consistent communication. I met him when he was in London for conference, and we were hosted by immediate chairman of London branch, Dr. Sunday Popola at the Imperial College London. The vision was fully supported by NSE President, Engineer Babagana Mohammed FNSC, who passionately approved the establishment of NSE Glasgow branch to contribute to the overall vision of NSE. May I recognize the tireless efforts and contributions of the Executive Secretary, Dr. Alex Okope Momo, FNSE, Executive Committee of NSE Glasgow branch to make establishment of NSE Glasgow branch become a success. Thank you all for your effort. Our achievements so far since we've been established, our achievements are not limited to the following. We've registered as a charity commission in the UK, and we've been supporting NSE headquarters with online interviews and assessment of new engineers. We are part of Code and Standards and the Power Committee created by NSE headquarters. We've conducted 15 practical webinars since we've been established. NSE Glasgow branch, we have over 250 members and 120 corporate members. What are we doing right now? Implementation strategy for engineering technology skill project transfer. That's what we are focusing now. It's a big project, and we want to get as many people as to get involved in this. It's for us to train Nigerian engineer students and graduates in the skill demanded by industry, focusing on local and global industry, working towards creating freelance online platform interface for industry and skill engineers to improve employability in Nigeria. We also to transfer the research innovation technology from abroad to Nigeria while collaborating between the engineering institutions, industry, academic, government, signing, as we speak now, we are working signing of MOU with 3 organizations in Nigeria, collaborating with UK organizations to motivate and encourage school children to study engineering. I would like to express my sincere appreciation to all of you who generously help us to make this event a success. Thank you for listening to me. Thank you for all of you joining us today. God bless you all. And thank you. That's all from me. Over to you, Dr. Emmanuel.
Thank you very much, the chairman, the pioneer chairman of the Nigerian Society of Engineers Glasgow branch, for that very wonderful speech. Very, very bang on time. Thank you so much for keeping the time. Thanks again for establishing the protocols for this event. I'll be recognizing the dignitaries we're expecting and the ones already with us very shortly. And for mentioning the achievements of the NSE Glasgow so far. We have really done a lot in just 12 months, and a lot more to come, as you would see throughout this event today. Just to say that we are expecting their excellencies, the governors of 3 states from Nigeria, the governors of Borno State, of Ebonyi State, and the governor of Nasarawa State. We're also expecting His Excellency, the Deputy Governor of Lagos State. And we have message that His Excellency, the High Commissioner of Nigeria to the United Kingdom, will be also joining very, very soon. We're also expecting some honorable ministers of the Federal Republic of Nigeria. They'll be around. We recognize their presence as they join in on the program. We have with us also the president and past presidents and council members of the Nigerian Society of Engineers. You are very well recognized. The president and council members of the Council for Regulation of Engineering in Nigeria, COREN, very, very well recognized. We have vice chancellors from, I think, 3 different universities in Nigeria here with us. And we have heads and representatives of various institutions in the United Kingdom and in Nigeria as well. You're very, very well recognized. You're most welcome. We're glad that you made it. You're most welcome. We also recognize the presence of leaders of sister professional organizations here in the UK and in Nigeria. You're most welcome. We have chairpersons of some branches out of the 81 branches of the Nigerian Society of Engineers here present. We have other invited guests of honor and dignitaries. You are all recognized yourself for joining us. Members of the press, I'm told we have some covering the events as well. Distinguished ladies and gentlemen, thank you so much for coming. And we'll just keep observing the protocols as we go on. Moving on now, I'll be calling on my chairman again to call on the national president of the NSC, Engineer Babagana Muhammad FNSC, for his opening remarks. Mr. Chairman, NSE Glasgow branch.
Yes.
If you would call on the national president.
Yeah, thank you for that. Yeah, all protocol duly observed. May I just to follow all the protocol, because I'm not an FNSE yet. So I don't think I'm worthy to introduce the engineer Babagana Mohammed. And on that note, I will transfer that duty to engineer. I think engineer Limat is here. Engineer Limat Adidiron, same surname as mine. Engineer Limat, will you mind and in your kind integrity to help us to introduce the NSE president? So when he dash me my FNSE, I'll be able to introduce him.
Thank you, very distinguished chairman. Can you hear me now?
Yes, sir. Yes, ma'am. Yes.
Okay. So thank you so much, our very able and indefatigable chairman, the one we are celebrating today. Thank you so much. All protocol duly observed. I have the singular honor and privilege to introduce to us the chairman in council of the great and noble Nigerian Society of Engineers, Engineer Babagana Mohammed, FNSC, Ebna Meki, who also is the chairman of today's occasion. Ladies, distinguished engineers in the house, ladies and gentlemen, please join me as I introduce to you the chairman of today's occasion, our very, very able president, the numero uno of the Nigerian engineers, Engineer Babagana Mohammed, FNSC, FNMIK. A round of applause for him, please. A round of applause for my president.
Let me join you in clapping. I'm also clapping. So thank you very much for this introduction. And let me quickly establish a very good protocol so that others coming around will kindly lean on it or align by it or stand on it or sit on it and continue.
Sit on it, as the case may be.
His Excellency, the High Commissioner, Nigeria Commissioner in London, who is ably represented by his Deputy High Commissioner. The Executive Governor of Borno State, whom I just spoke not quite long, I was trying to get him across because he promised me to be, but because of the resettlement he's doing, he said he may be somewhere where he will have challenges with his network. But he promised, and I just called 5 minutes to 2, I called so that we are on time. I could not get him. Maybe he has entered a no service zone. So anytime because I send a text also to keep him, once he enters where there's reception, he will click in and he will join. He has promised that. The governor of Nasarawa, the same thing. He said he's also going to the village, but he will make his arrangement and join us. They did not tell me they are going to put representative. So they are well recognized, and other vice presidents, my deputy president who joined me, my vice president, the president of Foreign, whom I spoke with, and he's joining me. Kashim Ali is also joining me. MBSO is joining me, and all of that, my ESCO members, branch chairmen who are going to be around, ministers of the Federal Government of Nigeria who are going to join us now or later, then other high-profile senior colleagues, my colleagues, distinguished guests, ladies and gentlemen. My message is on the screen, but let me just appreciate Glasgow branch because today we have to be on time. And so I will not bother you going through all my speech, but the bottom line is Glasgow, you came, we saw you, and you are doing good. Sean, the pioneer chairman, you are doing excellently well. I appreciate all your efforts, and I kept appreciating you every day because you kept calling me every day and be putting me on the defense. You did not allow me to put you on defense. You are not putting me on defense. I like that. We must grow the branch. We must grow the branch. We must grow the branch. And by extension, we must grow NSE. It's our responsibility to grow the society. And by doing all these activities you outline now, your membership growth is very good. And all these things you are doing, you are making NSE visible. And the visibility of energy is for all of us. We expect branches and divisions, which are our main focus points, to go into community engineering. They must go into community engineering because we need to be visible. We need to give it back to the society. And all this partnership you are having 3 ongoing, and to grow society, to grow the practice of the profession, excellent. We are very happy with it. So please keep on doing the good thing you are doing. And also at every point, remember, we are non-governmental organization. We came into NSE voluntarily on our own. And for every sector that you come in voluntarily, there are rules and regulations. We have to be ethical. We need to stand by the laws. We must stand by laws. These laws were made by us. Nobody made laws for us. We made the laws. So whichever laws that we made, we must stand by it. It doesn't matter whether it's going to be in your favor or against you. If council in its wisdom sat down and said, this is a law, let's obey it, please. That's why we are different species of people, engineers. We are not same with everybody in the world. No, no. Come to think of it, our pass mark is 50, others pass mark is 40. So we are not the same. So I want to appreciate all of you for all that you are doing, and we'll keep on supporting every one of you with meaningful projects that will put forward for us. Thank you, and God bless you all. Also, mind you, it is your responsibility to pay your dues at as when due. This is ethical. This is part of responsibility. Don't allow NSE headquarters to run after you looking for your subscription. No, 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 no. It's not done. And so the Glasgow branch subscription, please pay as it is due. That's what kept us going. These days, there is donor fatigue. What is called donor fatigue? COVID-19 has come, is for real. It has downtown so many economies. Many of our colleagues are not even working. We are trying at this end to even engage those that we can see, even if it's going to be a petty work, at least to give them some stipend, because they are our colleagues. We need to find something that we must support our colleagues. So these are what we use these monies you are paying us to do. We do welfare, we do a lot of welfare to our members, but we do welfare only to members whose dues are current and up to date. We cannot give you money when you are sick or anything, when you are current and not up to date with us. No, it's not possible. This is a society. It's not good. We are not government. We are not government. We are not governmental. So if you are a member and you are in need, we must support you. We have to come to you. Please understand this. So people must pay their dues, because you don't know when you look for us. What you're giving us is a saving for a rainy day. So we are very grateful that whatever you, and if there's any issue, please bring it up. Let us discuss it together. Anything discussed together is better. So I appreciate all of you. Thank you for listening. And I will stay around. I'll keep on putting my taps until I get the governors on, and I'll ask them to join. Thank you, and God bless you all.
Thank you, my President.
Emmanuel, thank you.
Thank you very much, the President. Please, let's give the President a round of applause for.
So let me do it also.
President, going straight to the point, no stories. Thank you so much for that. And I want to stand or lean or sit or lie on the protocol you have established, just as you have said. And thank you so much for that. I've been reliably informed that the Deputy High Commissioner of Nigeria to the United Kingdom is present with us at the moment. You're most welcome. Thanks for joining. And as the President has said, as the other special guests of honor arrive, we'll be recognizing their presence accordingly. Without further ado, I would move on now to essentially inviting the guest speaker today for his talk. We'll be calling on the special guest of honor as they come in for remarks. And maybe I should ask if the Deputy High Commissioner would like to give some opening remarks. If you're available, you can just indicate, and we'll spotlight yourself for your opening. Thank you very much. I introduce you, the Deputy High Commissioner representing the Acting High Commissioner of Nigeria to the United Kingdom, Suleiman Sani. Over to you.
Please unmute yourself, sir.
If you can unmute yourself. Can you unmute him from? Not yet. Yeah, just no. You can.
Not yet.
Not yet.
Okay, okay. Mr. Chairman, distinguished personalities here today, good afternoon.
Good afternoon.
I'm here to represent the High Commissioner, who is unavoidably absent due to other present official commitment that is attending in Nigeria. He has wished that he is here with you this afternoon. Sorry, he couldn't be here. I'm here to represent him as well. Let me start on behalf of the High Commissioner to immensely thank the organizers of this unique occasion today. On behalf of the High Commissioner and all other staff, we are very proud of NSE, especially from inception, when the idea to form the NSE was founded on 16 February 1958 by a group of young Nigerian graduate engineers in collaboration with some concerned students in the UK, which led to the formation of this unique association. And subsequently, the society was inaugurated at the Nigerian House in London to solve the 10 major challenges of its members. I'm happy to be part of this landmark achievement today for opening of other branches at Glasgow, Scotland, UK. I know you have been making achievements all over the world apart from those back home, and what is happening today is part of it. For NSE to survive and excel to this level in a country like UK, where there is all sorts of professionals, but you guys have thrived to this level. It's a great achievement indeed. We always cherish to be in your midst due to your wonderful efforts back home. Due to your wonderful efforts building, collapsing has reduced drastically in Nigeria, where some unfortunate ones came with fatalities. We know you are trying and have recorded many achievements like checkmating our builders, contractors at home, but we need you to double your efforts in making sure our buildings and other infrastructures are safe. I'm aware that part of the NSC dedication is to providing quality services aimed at enhancing professional competence and development of its members at all times, as well as committed to focus collaboration with influencing and providing quality advice to various arms of government, industry, commerce, academia, and the society at large for the purpose of uplifting our society, country as whole. I'm also aware of the NSE decision to look after the professional needs of its members through a well-structured programs and regular interaction among different cadre of membership, enhancing the high professional standard and ethical practices. The Nigeria High Commission is ready to partner with you in achieving your goals and is ready to assist you towards contributing your quota in the development of Nigeria and Nigerians as a whole. Long live NSE, long live Federal Republic of Nigeria. Thank you.
Can we give a round of applause to the High Commissioner? Thank you very much. Thank you very much, Acting Deputy High Commissioner Ambassador Suleiman Sani, for presenting that wonderful talk there. Very motivational, inspiring, and also challenging to the Nigerian Society of Engineers. The incidences of building collapse and what we're doing about it. This is also part of the idea of the Nigerian Society to expand and share knowledge, international best practices, and see how we can enhance the capacities of Nigerian engineers back home by sharing ideas and having mutual collaborations across board from the UK, Scotland, and of course other branches across the world that will be opening up with time as we move on. Thank you very much for that inspiring speech once again, and for representing the High Commissioner. Please convey our goodwill message to him as well, appreciation for his attendance. Thank you so much. Right. While we wait on the other special guests of honor as they join in, we'll take their welcome remarks. And if there is any that I probably haven't spotted, please kindly alert me as quick as possible, and I'll just get on with you. But for now, we'll be moving on to the talk for the inauguration. We had some argument if this is called inaugural lecture or inauguration talk or a guest talk. You know, engineers don't care too much about the English, so we just call it the lecture for today. As far as the numbers add up fine, we are good. We'll have a very, very great speaker, great guest speaker. We're privileged to have in our midst today to give the talk, and I'll just share my screen with his face up there, and then I'll read his very abridged profile. Yes, I'm sure most people already know who I'm talking about. He is one who needs no introduction. Someone in one of our programs actually referred to him as the vice chancellor of many other vice chancellors, because his students are already vice chancellors in many universities in Nigeria. Can you confirm if you can see my screen with Emeritus Professor Olufemi Bamiro's photo on the screen? Yes?
Yes, we can see.
I can see.
Thank you very much. Okay. So I
can see your screen.
Like I said, a profile of the guest speaker for today. Our guest speaker today is Emeritus Professor Olufemi A. Bamiro. He is the former Vice Chancellor of the University of Ibadan, and he'll be speaking to the topic engineering capacity building towards national development. Professor Bamiro attended Nottingham University in England for his first degree as a Shell Scholar, graduating with a Bachelor of Science degree in Mechanical Engineering, first-class honors in 1971. He obtained his doctorate degree, PhD, from McGill University in Canada in 1975. He was a Commonwealth Scholar. He joined the service of the University of Ibadan, Nigeria in September 1975 as Lecturer 1, and he rose rapidly, acting as a Deputy Vice Chancellor of Administration from 2005 to 2006, and contributing in various other capacities, but most importantly and very gloriously, as Vice Chancellor of the University of Ibadan from 2005 to 2010. Professor Bamiro has served the Nigerian nation in several capacities. I can't start going through all of the lists, but I'll just pick a few. He's been secretary of the 24-man panel that produced the energy policy of Nigeria. He was member of the 6-man committee that prepared the blueprint for the implementation of the National Science and Technology Policy for Nigeria. He's been a UNESCO consultant for the reform of the National Science, Technology, and Innovation System in Nigeria. He's a member of the External Advisory Group to the British Council on Internationalization of Higher Education in Sub-Saharan Africa. He's currently chairman of the Screening and Monitoring Committee of the National Research Fund under the Tertiary Education Trust Fund in Nigeria. He served as consultant to several companies in both the private and public sectors in Nigeria, as well as international agencies. Professor Bamiro is a recipient of many scholarships, fellowships, and awards. Some among them include the Western Region Government Scholarship, Shell BP Oil Company Scholarship, Commonwealth Scholarship, postdoctoral fellowships in Canada, two postdoctoral fellowships in Canada. He's had UNESCO Fellowship, ANSTI Fellowship, lots of them. He's a fellow of the Nigerian Society of Engineers, he's a fellow of the Solar Energy Society of Engineers, and a fellow of the Academy of Sciences. He's currently an emeritus professor appointed at the University of Ibadan, Nigeria, to contribute further to the advancement of not just the University of Ibadan, but higher institutions in Nigeria and beyond. Ladies and gentlemen, please join me in welcoming Emeritus Professor Olufemi Bamiro as he presents this talk on this day of the inauguration of the Nigerian Society of Engineers on the topic, Engineering Capacity Building towards national development. Prof, you have the floor, sir.
Thank you. Well, I have to share the screen. I would like to share the screen.
Yes, I stopped sharing now. You can share your screen.
Okay.
Thank you. Great. Perfect. Thank
I
you.
hope you can see my screen.
Yes, Prof. We
Yes,
can
sir.
see.
Okay. Well, thank you very much. First and foremost, I must show my sincere appreciation for this invitation. While, well, as they say here, adopting the existing protocol so that I can quickly move to the presentation. Since I have limited time, I could see from the program that I have just about 20 minutes. But all I can say is that this PowerPoint, I will send it to the chairman of NSE, and you can share this with other members so that a lot of people will be able to have access to the information contained, because you can see me moving very fast to be able to get through the presentation. So as already mentioned, the title is a general capacity towards national development. Sorry. So I usually start my presentation with central message of the paper so that people will know what message I'm passing across to the paper, even if I'm not able to go in details, through the presentation. The central message of this paper first is that the ongoing globalization of the world economies is such that developing nations such as ours will still remain as casualties in the techno-prisoner war of global competition for markets and resources. The second is that the major tools of offense and defense in this war, in quotes, are basically knowledge and information, driven by the science, technology, engineering, and innovation. I identify science, technology, engineering, and innovation. Sorry. The third one is that we have to develop the development of certain capacity sine qua non to socio-economic development. And the fourth, that the situation we're in calls for partnership between the elements of our innovation system to produce a new generation of young Nigerians like you, people I see in there, and as I commend you, free, educated, and technologically literate, who will become the scientists who can put the edges of knowledge, and the business leaders and engineers like you who can transform knowledge into goods and services demanded by the international and global markets. And the government official and the national leadership, because you can never forget leadership in this matter, who are able to come to grip with the dynamics of global competition through fertile policy environment. We need fertile policy environment, to be able to. Okay, sorry. So the sixth one. Sorry. The fifth message that the engineering will seek to produce graduates with highly employable attributes, and I've listed them in here. I will talk a bit more. What are the attributes of graduates that we now need now? Because things are evolving. Subject specialists, investigative, we call this both the hard and soft skills are now, really required in order to really thrive in that, in building the engineering capacity. Sorry. The sixth is that the current initiative, the Council of Registered Engineering initiative, involving the development of outcome-based education, OBE, measurable standard, driven by the adoption of the Washington Accord standard for the evaluation of all engineering and technology-based programs in Nigerian universities, is indeed commendable. It is a step in the direction of achieving mobility and global recognition of Nigerian engineers, its engineering qualification and assessment. And in your own case, you already, here is you are talking of NSE branch in Glasgow, outside the country. I mean, this is what OB is all about. I mean, as mentioned, I quoted in here, today, if you go to all Asian countries, 48 of them, including China, Korea, and the Pacific, Australia, you find out that they accept any person accredited by Koren. This was said by the president of Koren at the Silver Jubilee Anniversary of the Ikeja branch of NSE under the theme Sustainable, a Viable Engineering Culture. So in here, so I now say that what is the, sorry. So the structure of this presentation, which I move to five, because most are you are familiar with most of this, just to remind. I mean, globalization, challenges of this, what are the consequences of not meeting each other? The element of SETI and the focus on Nigerian education and training system for engineering capacity, building. Before I conclude. What is globalization? I think we all know this. It's the growing view of the world as a single coherent entity, and forced development as a single coherent entity under the pressure of international market forces, engineered primarily by the perspective and interest of the current values of the Western world, as stated by them. Economic globalization, industrial competitiveness, as I said, it has serious impact on the industrial development of any country, including Nigeria. It is a well-known knowledge. I mean, acknowledge that one of the important prerequisites of economic well-being and prosperity of the nation is sustainable development of industry. It is industry that provides service to members of the society by making consumer and capital goods. And we look in the direction of our industry for creating new products, generating new company and opportunities, and providing new jobs, which we recognize as a major problem. So the key to success of modern industrial development is SETI, as I mentioned. Stripped of economic globalization is a competition for the control of markets, to control the market and also the resources. Basically, that is what globalization is targeting. And in here, I noted that under market forces, how we are under serious constraint with the economic presence. And I've already shown in here a situation whereby you are asked to open your market. No tariffs. On any import coming to it, you eliminate tariff. At least 80% of products from EU were asked to eliminate tariffs under the EPA. These are all distorted here. But what am I trying to say in here is that a situation whereby you eliminate tariffs, it then means that all you are doing is that you're opening your system to competition. Okay, and I said in here, that means that we must be ready, to compete. And I gave example in here as the casualties of that competition. Dunlop, 8 billion plant rots away. 2012, Dunlop went out of the market. And why did that happen? Dunlop went down after producing tire in Nigeria for 45 years, thereby closing its 8 billion tire plant. 4 years after investing about 6.5 billion to produce 300,000 heavy-duty tires per annum. Consequently, domestic production has been replaced by tires imported from Japan and South Africa, maybe some more. And Nigeria, of course, has lost quite a lot as a result of that. And of course, the deindustrialization is ongoing. Why did Dunlop collapse? It is investing a lot in energy. The high cost of production due to unreliable electricity, so it could not compete. And then particularly also, the government's unfavorable review of import tariff due to pressure from 40% import tariff of tires to 10% into OC, which finally halted, Dunlop, because Dunlop could no longer compete. I'm saying this for us to appreciate the important role of government, in the scheme of things. Then some of the consequences of economic globalization, unregulated global economy, loss of jobs, concentration of power, brain drain. Okay, I will not see your own as brain drain. That is, people, professional living in the country, because from what you are doing now today in Glasgow, establishing this, you are providing the opportunity, for reaching out even to the Nigerian economy, even though you are over there. Of course, that should be an advantage. A number of countries have used this to advantage. If Nigeria is really ready to tap on the opportunity that you people are offering, by being over there and looking in, it is very, very important. So the challenge we all have, which I've noted in here, is that we must reclaim and build our local economy by working to create and sustain locally owned enterprises that sustainably harvest and process local resources to produce jobs and the goods and services. That is not negotiable. We must build our local economy. And in doing this, it is all stakeholders, having to come in. And to do that, we must understand and steer the forces that drive globalization and global competition. We must be ready to compete. So, and they have shown that knowledge, information, and innovation. And people keep talking of innovation. I mean, the imperative is science, technology, engineering, and innovation to the engine of economic progress. I mean, knowledge is becoming a leading factor of production. We must know how to create, master, and mobilize it. It's what now distinguishing, the economy. And I said in here, the 360-degree curve of SETI, which is science. Science is basic. And then next is engineering and technology, implementing the scientific foundation. And then you have innovation. Innovation is key. And it is source of creation of wealth. I mean, this is the 360-degree cycle, which place that we must, take the cognizance of in terms of reliable, affordable services, accelerated annual economic growth. These are the elements that we must take the cognizance of. And these are elements that we must deploy to our industry, such capacity to face challenges posed by the globalization for them to compete. And I've shown in here that there's hardly any sector where we're able to compete. Most of our industrial activities are still in the factor-driven economy. That is, our ability to compete is based on skilled labor and availability of natural resources. But as most of you know, natural resources are no longer now the driver. I mean, knowledge economy has make sure that that's not the case. Efficiency-driven, that is, where you have good, sophisticated labor and financial market, is now innovation-driven. Stage where you are able to innovate. To be able to, compete. In here, I showed in here, for example, why we still have a long way to go. For example, the Minister of Agri, Dr. Additional, challenged us some time ago, including research experiment, to join hand in achieving complete replacement of import of rice, and then even wheat, where it was supposed to, we're supposed to replace cassava, for bread production by replacing, to use cassava to replace wheat. And the experiment was done successfully in ITA. And we saw Jonathan eating the bread from the ITA lab based on cassava. And but the question now is, who will address the value chain from the cassava farm to processing and bakeries onward to innovative into the mine? I was pleasantly surprised and felt really sad when about 2 weeks ago I was in ITA. And I found that this bread, people are buying bread. Cassava bread at ITA. But why is it not in the entire economy, which will have made a difference? Because there's nobody. People are not addressing the value chain. Engineers come in, agriculturalists and so on. Unfortunately, that is not the case, which is unfortunate. So, how about innovation? Let me quickly move to give an example of what I mean by innovation. By example of technological innovation. In here, in 2002, in the Nigerian chicken market, there was serious supply-demand gap of almost 28 tons per week of broilers required. It was a 5 billion per annum market, increasing supply demand because of the growth of fast food chains. You are now having Tantalizer, Mr. Biggs, Chicken, all of them coming in and depending on the products coming from the poultry, and that limiting their growth. So, but they had no competitive prices because they were importing, and the imported chicken was cheaper. So what happened? Now that is they had to increase capacity and then lower their production costs. There was a young man. There happened to be a young man in Ibadan. Ibadan is the center of poultry in the country. And there's this James, a graduate of animal science and the MD of avian specialties in Ibadan. He scanned the environment because he realized that with his production at 190 to 200 naira per kg of flesh, he said there was no way we would be able to compete with. Import was coming at 140 naira per kg and being sold at 200. So, the selling price equal to, so he found that they were not able to compete. So, but he decided on his own that he believed that government should not ban import, but to protect local. But he said, I would rather compete, and I believe I will be better off competing. And what did he do? He scanned the environment. I was able to locate technology somewhere. I think this was in Brazil, stroke at least tropical climate. He was able to see that what the competitors outside from where they were importing the chicken, what they were using was the technology of the tunnel ventilation system, which is nothing more than control atmosphere technology. It controls the temperature and humidity of the pen house. And compared to where there was no such control under the traditional method. So what did he do? He brought that technology, to Ibadan, to his farm. And what was the effect? You can see economic impact of that innovation. The traditional technology, that was using before, you can see the element, duration of dairying to slaughter, total number of dairying cycle, average weight per body you get, the feed you need, and then the number of poles you can prepare of 40 feet by 320 feet, the standard size. It was costing 191 using the traditional technology. But when he brought in this technology ventilation system, look at the bottom line, 140 naira per kg. It crashed the beginning, and of course, he was able to then grow his business. So he brought that technology. And the question now is that innovation or not innovation? That, of course, is innovation. Then the idea also, which I want to also put across in this, this lecture, is the idea of the triple helix at play. And what we mean by triple helix is an example shown in where you are in UK. The Ministry of Agriculture, Fisheries and Food in UK government commissioned CISO Research Institute of UK University to conduct a 3-year research project to develop a system which will enable broiler producers, industry, to breed birds that meet the external. You can see the cooperation between government, university, industry, and many countries have used this. This type of collaboration. We can. It is what we're now promoting in Nigeria. I thank God that a number of organizations are now appreciating the need for this government, academia, and industry, to collaborate if we are to really have sustainable economic development. Then, going on, innovation. Again, the lesson we can learn from that is that innovation can become, can come from the, the shop floor. But if you want to really use this as to be really, compete with it, then it must be backed by an R&D institution. And government can scan an industrial sector, identify technological needs, challenge our R&D institution to undertake necessary R&D for diffusion of solutions to their end users. But it must be a deliberate policy, as in the case of South Africa, which I'll quickly go through as one of the important messages I want to put across. And engineering plays an important role in the innovation process. Let me quickly go to the South Africa. South Africa carried out the skill development, the skills sector in the country. What skills required? In the mineral beneficiation, they wanted to move from a resource base to a knowledge-driven economy. Just as in Nigeria, we are crying that we must be moving away from monoproduct of oil and diversify our economy. But they also identified that they must enhance manufacture and export of finished products in the automotive, chemicals, plastic, metal product, textile. That those sectors, they must improve their competitiveness. And what did they do? What did they do to improve the competitiveness? As shown in here, what they've done is that they identified their universities and challenged them in the different areas where they had to build, improve the competitiveness of the various actors in the field, micro, small, medium enterprises. Agri-food processing, Cape Peninsula University, chemicals, another university, clothing and textile technology for Cape Town University of Technology in Bellevue was given the responsibility for clothing and textile technology. And that CPUT was given the challenge. They recognized India as leading in competitiveness in the area of textile. And they challenged that university that they must catch up with India in the next 3, 4, 5 years. It was a challenge. And they funded them. And what happened? You find in here that the CPUT was able to interact not only with the local, SMEs, you can see the number from 93 to 72, the actors, to see how they were doing in the clothing and textile. They were also to be found in India, Germany, and so on, in the, looking at the various technologies and transferring and developing them and giving this back to the sector. That is a triple helix we're talking about. And what happened at the end of the day? You find that in here at the university, you could see a real full-fledged, clothing, textile production line. And a success story, clothing and textiles, Cape Town University, you see, using a methodology of optical sewing method, which they were able to copy and develop further. They were able to, as noted in here, they started producing garments for less than the cost of a garment from China. In other words, they have gained competitiveness. That is the type of thing we're talking about, where government comes in, to be able to challenge the university, and the university is ready, to work the private sector, to make the difference. That is what, India, has been done in South Africa, and with a lot, to show, for it. So the same, my take on innovation cycle is that the series of constructive destruction by technology have taken place, whereby still global competition. Technologies are changing, never static. The innovation cycle that have been witnessed in industrial space in the past few decades all over the world shows that the technology that will probably drive world economies in some decades hence are probably still to come to human consciousness. And it will take people like you that we are talking about to be able to be on top of the technologies, so that we are not just at the receiving end. Then, and I now say that, for example, the first industrial revolution used water and steam to mechanize production. The second used electric power, to create mass production. The third used, information technology to automate, electronics and information to automate. How about the fourth industrial revolution? It's already here with us. And the question now is our industry, are we in the fourth one? When even to the third one, we're still grappling, with it. As you know, mentioned that the possibility of billions of people connected by mobile devices, unprecedented power, processing power now. All these possibilities have opened up breakthroughs in fields such as artificial intelligence, robotics, and the Internet of Things, and so on. The question is, we will not be standing by. We need, this. So I now say engineering, science, delivery to technology to achieve innovation. Again, this one, I'm just using it also, just to challenge us, to know what is going on. I said from waste to wealth, the story of granular fertilizer production at the University of Ibadan. I just use it as an illustration case. Here was a problem. The big market will biodegradable mine. This is somewhere in Ibadan. And what happened? Could they do anything with it? Yes. Waste to wealth. In 2001, two professors, 3 graduate students of the Department of Economy and Department of Social Sciences, using just ordinary 50,000 naira savings to start grant, they developed organomineral-based fertilizer using mainly biodegradable municipal waste. They did the field test and everything successful, highly successful, making a big difference. This created demand by the farming community that could not be met by the laboratory. Now, Raw Materials and Development Council provided 1 million for prototype plant development. So what happened? They contacted me and the professor of mechanical engineering to say that could we help them develop a plant based on what they have established at laboratories to produce organic mineral fertilizer. Identify a postgraduate student, excellent in design, and he took it as his PhD, moving from master's. Survives it, even though some of my colleagues are mentioning it, I didn't feel that that was to be PhD. There'll be nothing new. What new to who? That is another type of reorientation we have to give ourselves. Solving PhDs for problem solution at a high level. However, that project was done, and it again, you need to really see the great impact that you have in there. And I've said in here, a number of people got their PhD and so on, and you see some of the elements developing there. These are some of the elements which form the basis of the PhD student got it. So what one is trying to say is that as research, a researcher can start 1 or 2 researchers. As the research result progresses into developmental phase, when we are talking of commercialization, things become more multidisciplinary, moving. And then also you need additional funding. As it progresses into the pilot, more funding is required. And whether the product or service gets to the market depends critically on the investment climate. We have to appreciate this, that government, and that is what is called the value of debt. You hear people saying that there are so many research results, products that are lying in our laboratories, in our universities, but never get into the market. What we say that they are lying in the valley of death. They cannot scale, that value, and that value is what I've shown in there graphically. You will see that as you move from your research at the lower end to be going up, you need more funding and more discipline. It's becoming more multidisciplinary to get it, and that is not what we are getting. In South Africa, Not only do they have research fund, they also have what they call innovation fund. Innovation fund to take is to commercialize some of these products, like the one I've just mentioned now, which is not yet in the market, despite its success. So this is the type of thing we are talking about. So basically, the message I'm also sending across is that research teams of the future, even of the present now, is interdisciplinary. Engineers will work with economists, with dentists, sociologists, mathematicians, in order to be able to solve developmental problems. No single discipline is able to solve most of the developmental problems that we are talking about. It's multidisciplinary, interdisciplinary, and we must be ready to work together. I gave an example, this, and if we look at, okay, what sort of skills we need in our economy, a number of people have done a lot of work in there. British Council looked into economy to look at the skills requirement. They saw skill mismatch in the area of communication, information technology. Then in here, you need to look at different, 6 critical sectors in the Nigerian economy, and they were able to find that 95 were found to be hard to fill. No fewer than 95 were found to be hard to fill in Nigerian labor market. In housing, in petrochemical, textile, 10.3. Even in textile, the textile, which are even the textile industry in Nigeria is collapsed. But what are we doing to bring back textile? Because that's a major employment generation. Generating activity. You can see what South Africa has done. In Nigeria, we are just pouring money into the textile, hoping that it will make a change. Of course, it couldn't make a change because Chinese made sure of that through the importation. To depress, the market. These are things that we have to do seriously. So, they have all this. Philips Consulting, they found that, well, we are not producing the right. They even said that we must generate, as far back as 2014, they projected that we must generate 24 million jobs needed over the 10 years. How many jobs have we created? So these are all this. I can move on. There's misalignment in the supply of skills and the demand for skills, which in the present is on that supply, driven mainly by the demand for cognitive skills, ICT and consulting. So there is need for economy. Now, let me move. Nigeria, what we need consequently to move beyond the present state we are talking of the economy, Nigeria must nurture pools of well-educated and highly skilled labor force that can perform complex tasks and adapt rapidly to the changing environment and the evolving needs of the economy. It is the responsibility of all of us, and a lot has to be done. I can now move to say, we tried to gain this since, this was a committee set up by the National University Commission, which I was the chairman. We are also looking into the problem of guiding employability to see what could be done. What were we not doing right that is really leading to graduates not having the right skills to thrive in the economy? And we gain a lot of lessons, from other countries, India, US, Australia, Germany, UK, a series of countries. Just to share a few with them, attributes of highly employable graduates. I was in University of Glasgow to interact with them under this guided employability, and it was there. We saw the type of skills that they were targeting in their within their curriculum. This is integrated into the curriculum. You can see, subject specialists. If you are an engineer, mechanical, you have your subject. Investigative, critical thinking, effective communicator, teamwork. I saw that demonstrated in a way that they were challenging the students to work problem from industry. Looking so that they work as a team. These are all things that we can. Very much required. India created a Ministry of Skill Development and Entrepreneurship and Transfer Coordinator of all skills. That is to determine the skill required in the economy. A ministry doing that. Ireland's National Skills Strategy 2015 to 2025. That is the economic plan. They looked at the skills that will be required to implement the economic plan. And they were able to project. Like, for example, ICT employment project to be that they will need about 44,000 between 2013 and 2018. Manufacturing is expected to grow. But they were determining the skills required in all those sectors. We cannot do otherwise. Chile Labor Market Observatory. They were able to monitor the employability of their graduates from Chilean University in the different sectors, the observatory, to see how many of their graduates have been able to get jobs a year after graduation. And you can see I mean, the graph they have given in there, the different sectors, from engineering, architecture, 73. That is, you will see straight away, telecom engineering, 100%, which means that it's a critical sector in which the sector was grabbing the graduates as soon as they left. And of course, they must have been training them with the right skills. That type of thing, we gain that. Then labor statistics, I mean, for example, in Nigeria, I mean, we used to have manpower board, but it was dissolved and transferred to NICE and nothing happening. Nobody in Nigeria setting is looking at the manpower requirement, to be able to drive the economy. I mean, it's a major omission. I mean, these are things that we know we must do. Then the typical German system, but what we have found most important, which I will use to quickly now move straight to comment current. The curriculum, we find that curriculum for learning and development now should be outcomes based, or what they call competency based, and with input from employer industry. The outcome-based design spells out what a student must know or be able to do at every level of learning. And then you can also have modularization of the curricula. This should be accompanied with competence assessment with divine essential learning outcome. In other words, we have to move away from what is the present where nobody's asking what the outcome of any course is. Take a particular course, how do we even describe it? I mean, you just give, a lecturer comes in, is able to, everything is targeted to maybe, setting an exam, and oftentimes it's returned to sender. That forms the basis of, performance. Outcome-based is what people are now talking about. Then national skill policy, you must have this, and then each sector is supposed to have specific skill council that will determine the skills required in the various sectors and on. So most importantly, in that responsibility that are given to us, we're able to identify the key players, the key stakeholders that must come to work collaboratively if we are to drive our Nigerian economy. One, we have the National University Commission, being responsible for what's going on in the university. NBT being responsible for what's going on in polytechnic, the university and polytechnic themselves, ITF, Manufacturing Association, TED Fund, professional regulatory bodies for the different current, for engineering and so on, which I will show later. Minister of, Federal Minister of Education, Minister of Budget and Planning. Okay, when you're doing budget and planning, and yet you're not planning what we'll be able to implement. The Bank of Industry, which is supposed to be supporting, some of these ideas of entrepreneurship and commercialization. In there, the National Manpower Board, we have said must be resuscitated. There must be a manpower board to look at the manpower requirement. Nigeria Information Technology NIDA, NBTI, National Board for Technology Incubation. You see, unfortunate. Nigeria is unfortunate. Nigeria has all these things, but they are never operationalized. Nigeria is not running out of ideas to move the economy, but it is in the implementation. Look at all these, what are they doing? You can get in there, you find that, so in case of NUC, they are supposed to review the benchmark, what is required to produce graduates in the different sectors. And I mentioned in here, in the responsibility, what they have to do. Basically, I think most of us, we are, familiar with that. And if we now have to focus on Nigerian universities, right now, Nigeria has 196 universities. Yeah. And I'm showing what you are seeing on the screen is the geographical distribution of 170 of them in 2020. I'm still to reflect because they've just created additional 20 universities, private. Private, as I've shown in here, is 79. Private is now 99. Wow. Then state 48, and then federal 43. They are spread all over, and you consider, of course, we have more private universities, and most of them, concentrated, down. But what one is saying is that if you look at universities to be developed as agents of development, there's no state that does not have enough to be able to, use them. And then in terms of students statistics, we have about 2 million students, enrollment in the system. The only thing that I'm pointing out is academic staff of about 62,000. The ratio is 30-1. No, we are understaffed, not only in terms of number, but in terms of quality. Again, that's where you people will come in, use leveraging on technology now to deliver. I hope that will be coming. And then the number of programs being run in the university system, degree program. You see in engineering had, as at the time I did the 33, but it has increased the number of engineering programs in the system. And if you look at the number of institutions running those programs, as shown in there, about 33. We have about 3,000 plus. Engineering and technology, about 305, programs run in the system. And if you look at the 33, the 33 engineering programs or 34 at that time, you see the mechanical engineering 42 mechanical engineering program in the system, and then you see electrical, electronic 38 and so. But this number has since increased because when I did this, this was way back. The number of universities now that increased, but the point one is making is that at least you have all these engineering programs spread over the system, but in terms of capacity, to be able to adapt very much, and a lot still has to be done. So current outcome based, I come to current now. I said I must commend the Council of Registered Engineers for a job well done in coming up with detailed guidelines to outcome-based OBE benchmark for engineering program in Nigerian universities. A lot still has to be done, but they are moving. The measurable outcomes to be evaluated for any engineering program in Nigerian universities are to be based on the adopted objectives of Washington Accord. That's what they call objective of Washington Accord for the evaluation of all engineering and technology-based programs in Nigerian universities. I said this is an excellent working document for redesigning of engineering curricula in Nigeria with the collaboration of NUC, current, and the relevant sector-specific council. Movements to the OB measurable standard. In quest to achieve mobility and global recognition of Nigerian engineers, is engineering qualification and assessment, accreditation, adopting the Washington Accord standard for the evaluation of all engineering and technology-based programs in Nigerian universities. The measurable outcomes to be evaluated for all engineering programs in Nigerian universities shall henceforth be based on the adopted Washington Accord. This was current president June 2014. Now, today, again from the current president. Today, if you go to all Asian countries, 48 of them, including China, Korea, and as I said before, you find out that they accept any person accredited by current. We are trying to reach the world through the Washington Accord, a signatory body for engineering institutions that are acceptable internationally. This was president of current, Mr. Kashim Ali, at the grand finale of the Silver Jubilee Anniversary of the Kenya branch of Nigerian Society of Engineers with the theme Sustainable Valuable Engineering. That is, government, and you are already helping in that direction. Having this type of this in a place like that in Chicago. Some of the elements of the adopted objective of Washington are here. The basic thing, applying knowledge of mathematics, conducting investigation, create, select, apply. The real curriculum, like I said, outcome-based. So it's not a question that you just teach a course, and then you move, you do all different. No, it is now, you really need to look at what are the outcomes, in teaching every course. That is what this is all about. Functioning, as a member of, it is also promoting, a multidisciplinary setting. That people must be prepared to work not only as a member or leader in a diverse and a multidisciplinary setting. Of the training coming while they are still within the four walls of the university. Demonstrate knowledge and understanding of engineering and management principle, recognize the need for high preparation and ability to engage in independent and lifelong learning. That is, will be ready to keep individual learning. Must be promoted. Philosophy and mission of the new engineering program now is that in Nigerian University by current is to produce graduates with high academic and soft skills competence with capability to adequately participate, transform, impact on the engineering and technology industry, national and global community values. So it's a new direction, but surely it is really very much welcome. Why a lot of work still has to be done. And the curriculum is structured on the area of basic science, as you expect, foundation engineering, specific engineering and technology program, general studies and social science, entrepreneurship, law and economics. They are all there in the system. In the teaching and learning is in here, teaching should be student-centered. Innovative teaching methods should be deployed to enhance pedagogy. This to include lectures, laboratory practical workshops, and excursions. Emphasis must be placed on teaching and so on.
Thanks.
Is that then most importantly, from my own point of view, modern delivery teaching aid techniques are to be deployed, such as PowerPoint presentation. Of course, gone are the days now when a lecturer will be. When we join University of Ibadan, you're using chalkboard. You are sweating, putting a no. Now, technology has made sure that is no longer necessary. Students should be able to have whatever you want to transmit by way of lecture, where you can concentrate on their understanding. But most importantly, in here, it says invited guest lecturer. relevant practicing engineers from industry should be invited to deliver seminars, lectures to undergraduate at the various levels. We must accommodate the experience from outside in the training of the student. Workshop practice, soft skills, critical thinking, and so on. These are things that you see methodology of, of handling them. So this is active and measurable outcome, for example, 500 level when a student is already 500, at the 500, what are the outcomes that motivating, that we want to see, from the training? That is all this I said. For every level of engineering now, 100 level, 200 level, 300 level, 400 level, 500 level, each one of them, the outcomes, what has to be done, the outcomes are in there. And this is what has made a difference in countries that that we have seen, really doing well. And in terms of proposed current accreditation score sheet, the current now coming to university to assess, the program, you can see the elements that they are now looking for: program educational objectives, program outcomes, course learning outcomes, curriculum, which is key, has the highest, figure there, the nature of curriculum that you are in. Then the staffing also is very high. The quality of staff. It doesn't have to be staff all long run. No, you must be able to do both part-time and reaching out. Nothing says that, a program that when I was Vice Chancellor of the University of Ibadan, a Master's in Development program, Master's in Development practice was not only being handled by those of us on grant. We were also networking with people in the US, India, and so on, in terms of some courses, using a video conferencing. With a lot of, so the staffing now is not just somebody you can count on. No, you must reach out. Nothing says that and you people in Glasgow and so on in some areas cannot reach, with some of our system. That is staffing, there's flexibility in it, reaching out. It doesn't have to be staff, there are physical facilities, a library facility, libraries are not what people are looking, but that is the only way you can talk of global, skills being created. So in conclusion, I said our students must be ready to meet the challenge of changing world. Thank you. Also our good teachers must be able to. So, finally, I say capacity. What is important is capacity building for staff to support students in the development of employable skills. We have a lot to do. Thank you very much.
Wow. Please, can we just give a round of applause to the Emeritus Professor Olufemi Bamiro. This has been a whole lot of content unpacked here. I can imagine the preparation that Prof has taken despite the short notice to prepare this very talk. Reached to every corner. I've been put notes. My notes are really a whole lot here. Lucky that we'll be having the slides available. Thank you for generously accepting to share the slides. And we can go through and see. There's lots of challenges there to universities, to industry, to professional organizations, to us as well, as a new branch and other branches out with the country. Thank you so much, Prof. I can't go through all of the summary of this. You've done justice to the topic quite nicely. We appreciate you for this inspiration, motivation, challenge, and all that you've put together for us today. Thank you very, very much, Professor. Prof has been teaching for many years, so he can go on forever, actually. And thank you so much, Professor. We have seen lots of goodwill messages coming in the chat box, a whole lot of them. We'll be acknowledging as much as we can, and we'll also call upon a couple of people to give remarks, goodwill remarks, as we go on. But for now, I want to crave the indulgence of everyone present, Your Excellencies, ladies and gentlemen, to move on to the very peak of this event, the apogee, the reason why I gathered here, the inauguration of the NSE Glasgow branch. And which other way to segue into this than this kind of powerful presentation and talk that Prof has just given just now. And then it goes straight into the inauguration to challenge the branch to stand for something that can address the engineering capacity building for national and global development that is the theme of this gathering here today. So permit me to call on, I think now I have the permission actually, to call on the national president of the NSE, who is the chairman of this event, and who will be performing the inauguration with council members to have the floor at this moment. Mr. President, Engineer Babagana Mohammed FNSC, I hand over to you for the inauguration proper. If you unmute yourself and yeah, we can have. Oh, almost there.
Mute. Correct.
Thank you.
I am trying hard to see whether I can get Governor Zulum on the line, and his phone is not reachable. But I got Governor A. Sule. He was somewhere hooked up. He said he's trying to see how you leave the place and join you. So I'm already on phone today, trying to link up people because they are on national assignments, facing electorates in villages. So it's always difficult, and you know Nigeria, our services are not erratic. Let me put it that way. So we'll get there. With all your support, we'll get there. That's why branch and other branches are there. You need to work it out and bring whatever is good back to base. So inauguration, my chairman, please put everybody on the line, give them the odds. Then from there we start. Give them the odds, let everybody read the odds, and then we inaugurate the branch, and then we continue. Am I on?
Yes.
Emmanuel?
Yes, you are.
You're on.
Thank you very much. The odd first. Let me do it this way, quickly. I, Babagana Mohammed, President and Chairman in Council of Nigeria Engineers, by the powers vested on me today, date 11th September 2021, inaugurates NSE Glasgow branch to the glory of God.
Round of applause for that's it. Thank you very much, Mr. Chairman.
Thank you. And then that the chairman can now go and administer the oath of office to everybody. And I think first to ESCO, then let me do his own. Chairman, take your oath, put your medallion on. Then we take the oath of office. Then you go and give oath to your members. I can only do it for the chairman. Then the chairman will do for his members. Then you present them to me. Then we say thank you and congratulations, and we close up for the day. Chairman, come forward. Let me see your picture. Focus on my Thank you very much.
My president, sir.
I knew you don't have a medallion, so you not take the order of office. That's usually we have an order of office. If you don't have it, let's pray. The prayer is you are going to be loyal servant, and you are going to be honest. You run the affairs of this society, Glasgow branch, without fear or favor, and you be honest to the core. The good Lord will be with you. So help you God.
Amen.
Thank you very much. You start inaugurated. You can now go ahead and inaugurate your ESCO members.
If the ESCO member can raise up their hands, because the speech, we didn't prepare any speech for this. I will just say it in my words, same as
just say it in your
national president.
Yeah.
Or may I call at this junction just to, may I just use the opportunity as well to call the everyone joining us, if you don't mind, to, if as we say this, we pray for us as well. Yes. I, Olushi Adediran, I can confirm all the ESCO of Glasgow branch that they will serve. You have to put your name that you will serve the NSE Glasgow branch with all of your heart. And be committed, and same as you do down that Scottish and Nigeria law. If you fail the Scottish law, you know what you get. Thank you. Amen.
Amen. I like that. Thank you very much.
All right. Thank you, sir. May I use this opportunity to call the immediate past president, Engineer Mokuolu, to give a quick remarks and also to appreciate the guest speaker, Professor Bamiro. Engineer I think, has he gone?
You cannot call. I should be the one to introduce Mokolu because he's my boss.
Oh, all right. Okay, sir. Sorry, sir. Let me allow you to introduce the past president.
I have the honor to introduce my IPP, Engineer Adekule Mokolu, FNSC, to give a word of advice and also thank our elder professor, our mentor, our teacher, our father, Professor Babidoron, and please tell him, thank you, we appreciate him, I will continue appreciating him. Engineer Mokolu, please.
Okay. Thank you very much, my president. What a delight. And Mr. President, congratulations, sir.
Thank you, sir.
Today is really a very remarkable day in the history of the Nigerian Society of Engineers. And just permit me to say that, let me recognize my president. He's my Oga. So I recognize you, sir, in protocol, and His Excellency, the acting High Commissioner of the United Kingdom, and my own very dogged and indefatigable chairman of the Nigerian Society of Engineers Glasgow branch, Engineer Dr. Olusegun Adediran. Oh, wonderful man. Thank you so much for being a great inspiration to us and making us proud. And all the members of the executive of this new branch of NSE Glasgow branch, I salute you. And let me now just do justice to the guest speaker. Now, the guest speaker always, really is an inspiration. The Emeritus Professor Olufemi Bamiro, with FNSC, I would say, etc., because if I start mentioning all his titles, well, I will take a little bit of your time. So, sir, thank you so much. You have given us what I can call a millennial lecture, so to say, and you have given us a direction in which we should go. As a matter of fact, I was supposed to have a private chat with my president, Engineer Babagana Muhammad FNSC, that some of the points that you have mentioned should be sliced and distilled in such a way that we'll be able to send them to the various ministries, of government ministries and the departments and agencies in Nigeria, so that they will be able to, through this lecture, realign their focus, in doing things that are very beneficial to our country, so that this lecture, the gems of it, will not just remain with us, but then it will be scattered all over Nigeria. So once again, on behalf of the chairman of Glasgow branch and the entire membership of this newly inaugurated branch, we say thank you so much. And of course, by extension, I bring you the gratitude and appreciation of the president of Nigerian Society of Engineers, and by extension, all the Nigerian engineers, for first giving us the intellectual knowledge to be able to apply our trade for our well-being and for the development of Nigeria, and then you not being tired in bringing your wealth of experience into Nigeria development. Now, Mr. President, and if you permit me, let me just take 1 minute to do something. I do want to say that just to make a speech. I'm sorry, I'm experiencing some distraction. Please let me just put.
Okay. We'll just I'm going to bid for Engineer Mokolu. Okay. Okay. Yeah, if you can.
Yes. Yes, thank you, sir. Thank you very much, Carvo. So as I was saying, you know, engineering is a global knowledge. And because engineering is a global knowledge, we are really very grateful, first to God, for having this Glasgow branch inaugurated today. Because you are supposed to bring to the doorstep of Nigeria, you know, what your intellectual resources and some of your skills, in the sense that you are living in an environment where you are not distracted, you know, by grappling with these intellectual distractions, you know, from overcoming challenges of basic, you know, human needs and infrastructure. So you are in a place where everything is working. So we are expecting that by the grace of God, you are going to create a symphony for economic development, you know, for better life for Nigeria. Indeed. And of course, by the time you impact on us, for example, our guest lecturer, Professor Bamiru, he has already given us a template of how you can bring, you know, your resources, intellectual resources into Nigeria, so as to help us leapfrog by ensuring that you are part of the staffing of our universities. Well, the political will is going to be there one day, and I'm sure that NSE, you know, through our president, is creating a bank of knowledge, such that when the political wheels come, you know, all of you will be players. We'll ensure that all of you will be players in what we are trying to do for better life of Nigeria. So once again, I thank the chairman for giving me this opportunity. God bless Glasgow branch of the Nigerian Society of Engineers. God bless the Nigerian Society of Engineers, and God bless the Federal Republic of Nigeria. Thank you so much.
Thank you very much. Thank you very much, Engineer Adekunle Mokolu, FNSC, immediate past president of the Nigerian Society of Engineers. Further reiterating the points made by Professor Bamiro, he's been described variously in the chat. I'm not going to go into that. A legend, erudite, scholar, and professor. Thank you so much again for that. I want to commit my chairman, the NSE Glasgow branch chairman, that definitely will be taking up Professor Emeritus Professor Bamiro up on the points he has raised and how we can be key players, just as Engineer Mokolu has mentioned now, in actualizing the vision and advice and challenge that are contained in the professor's very wonderful speech. Hopefully, we'll begin to work on that immediately after this. All right, without further ado, thank you again for your patience and cooperation so far. This is one of the first online sessions that we've not had serious interruptions from people who would want us to hear what they are doing personally back home. So you've been very cooperative audience, I would say, on this meeting. Thank you so much for that. We'll be lightening up a bit now to invite a couple of persons just for 1 minute each to sort of pass on some goodwill remarks representing some institutions and also their capacities for this very event. Just a quick call on Engineer Ali Rabiu, the president of Koren, if he's on this call for 1 minute, just to pass some remarks. If someone can spotlight and have Engineer Ali Rabiu, FNSC, president of Koren. Right, probably away briefly. Okay, I would like to also call on Engineer Professor Adeni Olayonju, the Vice Chancellor of Landmark University in Nigeria. He's been very, very cooperative with the NSE Glasgow branch, supporting us all the way. He wants to give just 1 minute of good remarks if he is on the call. Engineer Professor Adeni Olayonju, the Vice Chancellor of Landmark University. I'd also like to call on Engineer Professor Emmanuel Aluyo, FNSC, from the university's South Vice Chancellor, Edo State University, Iyamo. Okay, I am very sure I saw, and I would like to call on the representative of the University of Strathclyde in Glasgow, UK, the International Development Manager of the Faculty of Engineering, Jennifer Gazard. Jennifer has been supportive of the engineering students, graduates, and professionals in Glasgow. She was quite active when we had Coren over to, give licensure to some members the other time. And Jennifer is present with us and would like to take 1 minute for the goodwill remarks. Jennifer Gazard, International Development Manager, Faculty of Engineering, University of Strathclyde.
Thank you, Emmanuel. Hi, everyone. Good afternoon. It's great to see you all. Just to pass on my congratulations and congratulations from the university to the executive and to all the members of the Nigerian Society of Engineers Glasgow branch. It's fantastic to see so many of you here. So I think a lot of you will know that Strathclyde has long history with Nigeria. So Dr. Alex Ekweme, the first Vice President of Nigeria, is a PhD graduate in architecture from the University of Strathclyde. So we're sort of really privileged and honored to work so closely with Nigeria and to have so many Nigerian engineers. I think we currently have about 120 Nigerian engineers currently studying with us, and lots more graduates as well who I can see on this call. So we are kind of really delighted to be part of that process. And I think part of the training and development of Nigerian engineering, just as Engineer Professor Bamiro was saying in his speech, around partnerships with industry, development of kind of core competencies for graduate engineers. So we're really looking forward to working with the Glasgow branch and also with our Nigerian colleagues, friends, students, graduates, academic colleagues going forward. So just to say many congratulations on this day.
Thank you very much, Jennifer, for that very wonderful talk. Yes, the Glasgow branch is open for collaborations, and we'll be reaching out to you shortly, very soon to carry on what we've already started. Thank you very much. I'd also like to call on our own Professor Babakali Alkali from the Glasgow Caledonian University. He's the head of the department, Mechanical Engineering Department. Professor Babakali Alkali, I saw him on the call. If you can be spotlighted, if you can unmute yourself. Just 1 minute remarks, goodwill message. Professor Babakali Alkali.
Yeah, thank you very much. Can you hear me?
Yes.
Yes. Yeah, thanks a lot for having me on. And also, I would like to congratulate Engineer Babagana for the inauguration, and also congratulations to Dr. Shemu for his effort towards the launching of the NSE Glasgow branch. On behalf of Glasgow Caledonian University and also the School of Engineering and Built Environment, I would like to congratulate everyone for their contribution towards this memorable day of this launch. And we would like to see how we could actually contribute towards the moving forward of the branch. At the moment, Glasgow Caledonian University has got around 150 students from Nigeria, of which 20% are actually studying engineering degrees within programs in Nigeria. As head of mechanical engineering here at Glasgow Caledonian University, we have accredited programs, and also what Professor Bamiro has actually given in the talk of the capacity building in the national development. All that is actually mentioned there is actually part of the learning outcomes we're actually running within the program. So as the way going forward, I would like to see how we could actually contribute from Glasgow Caledonian University towards the movement of the NSE Glasgow branch. Thank you very much.
Thank you very much, Professor Babakali Alkali. Very apt and straight to the point. We appreciate you for being in attendance as well. We also have Josie Pilcher, the Recruitment and Internationalization Officer from the University of Edinburgh, the College of Science and Engineering. Is Josie present? If you can unmute yourself and give your remarks. Josie Pilcher from the University of Edinburgh. Right, okay, I'll move on to Lydia George, Okay, well, we've had Professor Babakali from GC already, so I'll just skip to Professor Neil Robertson, the Dean of International Partnerships at the University of Edinburgh as well. We should have somebody from Edinburgh present. Okay. Right. We also should have Mrs. Lynn Esson, the Internationalization Officer, College of Science and Engineering from the University of Glasgow. Professor Bamiro had some things to do with the University of Glasgow and lots of Nigerian students there as well. Lots of Nigerian students in Scotland. And we are hoping to leverage on these capacities here to have what is called now brain circulation. Brain circulation, no longer brain drain or brain gain, but brain circulation, having engineering professionals, graduate students, and practitioners across board, from anywhere they are in the world to work also in Nigeria to provide such capacities. Okay, may I also call on Dr. David Clark from the Engineering Council. I think Dr. David Clark was on the call for quick 1-minute remarks and goodwill message. Dr. David Clark, FRSC from the UK Engineering Council. Okay, probably stepped out briefly. All right, we'll be having more calls for goodwill remarks. My colleague, my co-MC, the former chairperson of NSE Ikeja branch, engineer Dr. Mrs. Olufumilade would be taking charge of some of these much sooner. But before then, we'll be moving on now to give and present award plaques to awardees and honorees, which have identified people who have supported us and worked with us, people who have recognized their outstanding contributions to engineering, to leadership, engineering capacity development, home and abroad. And we'll be having them presented these electronic award plaques for now, since we have the event online. And to do this, I'll share my screen just now. And I'll also be calling on, first of all, the chair of the AFBE UK, Scotland, forgive me. He is our own brother and friend, Engineer Dr. Oli Afolayan. He will be presenting the first set of awards, first set of plaques, sort of to appreciate the people who have contributed to our webinar sessions or webinar series in the past 1 year. And then thereafter, I would also call on another dignitary to present to some other guests for their capacity, their recognition of their efforts in leadership across the world. So I want to call on Dr. Oli. I think it was. All right.
Yeah,
okay.
I can hear you. I can hear you.
So,
well, first of all, fantastic job, Dr. Salifu, and congratulations to the rest of the team on this fantastic event. I've enjoyed it quite a lot. I'm going to call on those who I've primarily confirmed are present, and then I'll read out the other names just so that we save time. So the first person I'd like to call on gave a talk on leadership in the 21st century. So I'd like to present the first award to Dr. Christian Harrison. If we can all use our reaction emojis to clap for him so that everyone, so that he feels appreciated. Thank you very much. Should I wait for him or move on?
If Dr. Christian Harrison can give just 30 seconds of, yeah, he's here.
Yes.
Okay, thanks very much, Emmanuel and Oli, for that. And thank you very much to the Nigerian Society of Engineers Glasgow branch for this award of excellence. It's a privilege to be here. I'd like to thank especially the chairman or the indefatigable chairman, Dr. Olusegun Adediro, and his wonderful team. I can remember when I gave this talk on leadership in the 21st century, and I was talking about the skills required. And it was good because the NSE has become the voice of leadership, has become the voice of reasoning in the Glasgow, and hopefully the voice of reasoning in Nigeria as a whole. So it's a privilege to be here. And it's also great to see the inauguration. And I strongly believe that, like I always say, leadership is influence. and you guys have started influencing Scotland, and hopefully you'll be able to influence Nigeria and be the change that we all crave for. Thank you again for the opportunity, and I'm very grateful. Thank you.
Thank you very much.
Many congratulations, Dr. Christian. It's an honor to host you and to have you here. The next person on the list here gave a talk on hazardous area classification in industry and legislation. Would like to welcome Mr. Graham Mitchell. Round of applause, please.
Hi, everyone, and congratulations on this great day to the Glasgow branch of the NSE. It's a great honor to be here. I was really humbled to be invited to speak on this subject. And what I'd like to say, following on from the guest speaker earlier, is that for me, what we all need to do, people say that in terms of knowledge, we should soak it up like a sponge. But what they don't tell you is when we squeeze it back out, we should make the shape change, the color change. And that's where we get the innovation.
Yes.
And that's the message I'd like to leave and add to the great speech that was presented today.
Oh, thank you.
Thank you all.
That's a fantastic point, a fantastic reflection, and one that we'll remember. Thank you very much. Round of applause again, please, everyone. Thank you. The next person, and I'm basing this on those who I can confirm are present, is Engineer Danlami Mbuka, who gave a talk on through-life power plant integrity management. Would like to welcome him. Engineer Danlami.
Thank you for the opportunity. I just want to thank everybody on board, and I wish the Glasgow branch more years to come. And at the moment, as you can see, I'm walking up close to the North Sea here, so I still find time to join you guys online.
Thank you.
Nonetheless, good to see everybody, and all the best. Thank you.
Thank you, Engineer Danlami, and congratulations on your award. The next person on the list who would like to call is somebody who's spoken on a very, very important topic for all of us, taking care of your mental health during the COVID-19 pandemic. I would like to welcome Professor Bola Ola. Please put your hands together for, I'm not sure if it's a him or a her, so I'm going to wait to say, put your hands together anyway.
Thank you very much. It's a pleasure for me to be here, to be invited. And it's very humbling to listen to you all and to be part of this process that I would call the NSE Glasgow as a fulcrum, what I learned in the secondary school, physics. It's a fulcrum for change. And that is also what even my lecture was all about. We talked about multidisciplinary nature and the interdependence in learning and health. And I think that's what will lead to the excellence that we aspire for among Nigerians in diaspora and particularly in Nigeria, so that we can claim back what we call ourselves the giants of Africa. I thank you all, and I also congratulate you on this landmark and wish all of you a memorable journey and journey towards more excellence. Thank you.
Thank you very much. Thank you very much, Prof. Let's put our hands together one more time. Based on the list I have here, the only other person I've been able to confirm is here, gave a talk on a very important topic, which is to do with Python programming for engineering calculations and design automation. And that is Dr. Chris Pierce. So can we put our hands together for Chris? Congratulations and welcome. Please, yeah, you're welcome to speak.
Thank you very much. Thank you. I just want to say, thank you for the invitation to attend this event. This auspicious event for the inauguration ceremony of the Glasgow branch of the NSE. It's a great honour to hear the remarks of distinguished individuals on the call today, and to be able to enjoy and learn from the excellent talk by Emeritus Professor Olufemi Bamiro. So thank you very much for the plaque, and I really wish the NSE Glasgow branch every success in its continued growth and its continued excellent work in encouraging and sharing valuable engineering skills and knowledge. Thank you.
Oh, brilliant. Thank you very much. Thank you. Nice to meet you. And I will just mention the name of our other awardees. And apologies if you've joined in the last few minutes and we weren't aware you were here, but I will just call out their names. We'd like to thank Professor Xiaoping Zhang, Professor Alison Phillips, Engineer Sharp.
Yeah, sorry, Dr. Oli, just to let you know, Engineer Sharp Iwokochai is here.
Yes. He is. Okay, let me call him out as well. Thank you for letting me know. So he gave a speech on CAD and CAM in modern industrialization, a practicum session. Please put your hands together. And my apologies, Engineer Sharp, but put your hands together for Engineer Sharp Ogwocha.
Thank you very much. I'm part of the team. I'm part of the furniture they say in Scotland. It's a pleasure to be part of what is going on in Scotland, and we will do more by the grace of God to help develop engineering in Nigeria. Thank you very much.
Oh, thank you very much. That was a speech of somebody who's used to collecting awards. He was very straight and on the point. On point. Right. So I'll just mention the other names of people who were not here. Dr. Oluyinka Bamiro, Engineer Ayo Ofi, Dr. David Clark, Engineer Professor Dr. Joseph Odigure, and Engineer Chinedu Ezenkwu. We would just like to congratulate you all and thank you for being fantastic people, sharing your knowledge with others. Thank you very much. Back to you, Dr. Salifu.
Thank you very much, Dr. Folayo. Brilliantly done. We appreciate you for this, for handling that so professionally. Congratulations to all the awardees, and thank you for being part of our story at the NSE Glasgow. I'll just stop sharing my screen now before we move on to the other part of it. I've been informed that His Excellency, the Executive Governor of Borno State, is now online and is with us. And I'd like to call on the NSE President, Engineer Babagana Mohammed FNSC, to introduce His Excellency, the Executive Governor of Borno State, for his special remarks. He's our special guest of honor.
Thank you very much. The man is one man who doesn't need to be introduced. He's a professor of engineering and His Excellency. And he's a working governor. He's always in the bush, resettling people across my state. So, Your Excellency, you are welcome, sir.
Thank you very much.
Can we spotlight His Excellency?
Yes.
Yes.
Thank you.
Good afternoon to all of you. Very sorry, I'm not in Nigeria. I'm right now in Morocco, Casablanca, trying to exploit possibilities of supporting technical and vocational education in Borno State and indeed Nigeria. I'm delighted to be one of your special guests of honor in this very important occasion, which is the inauguration ceremony of the Nigerian Society of Engineers Glasgow branch. I congratulate all of you for this very important occasion. And I'm also happy to note the team titled Engineering Capacity Building Towards National Development. Capacity building is very important because for us to achieve sustainable development in Nigeria and indeed other parts of the world, the issue of capacity building needs not to be overemphasized. We in the government of Borno State, as well as the Nigerian Governors Forum, we shall do everything possible to support the Nigerian Society of Engineers, as well as other engineering bodies, resident engineering bodies outside Nigeria that are indigenous, that are nationals of Nigeria. We shall continue to work with you to see how we can promote capacity building. Right at home, we have some challenges at home. But I believe with those of you who are working outside the country, outside Nigeria, we can work together to see how you can transfer some of the appropriate technologies that you have to our own nation. Let me once again extend my profound appreciation to the Nigerian Society of Engineers for inviting my humble self to this very important occasion, and also once again congratulate those of you in Glasgow for the establishment of this very important organization up there. We are willing to support you. We are willing to partner with you to promote sustainable engineering development in Nigeria. Thank you very much once again. Good afternoon.
Thank you, Excellency.
We give a wonderful round of applause to His Excellency, the Executive Governor of Borno State, Engineer Professor Babagana Umar Zulum. Thank you so much for joining us. We're really glad to have you present. And since we still have the honor of your presence, I would like to just keep up the program a little. Call on again, the immediate past president, Mokolu FNSC, to present the Outstanding Leadership Award to His Excellency, the Executive Governor of Borno State, for his exceptional leadership in a tumultuous environment, and the challenges that Nigeria and Borno State especially face at this point. It's worth recognizing. It takes, I think, only an engineer professor to be able to navigate through as much as he's doing, far beyond what we can imagine at the moment. I'd like to call on Engineer Mokolo, if he's still on the call, to present his Outstanding Leadership Award to His Excellency, Engineer Professor Babagana Zulum.
Yeah, thank you very much. The chairman of this occasion, my president, Engineer Babagana Mohammed FNSC. It's indeed a great pleasure and privilege for me to give on behalf of the newly inaugurated Glasgow branch of the Nigerian Society of Engineers this Outstanding Leadership Award presented to His Excellency, one of our own, Engineer Professor Babagana Zulum, the Executive Governor of Borno State, in recognition of your exceptional leadership and outstanding achievements on this day, 11 September 2021. Thank you very much, Mr. Governor. We are very, very, very proud of you, and you are in our thoughts and prayers every day. As engineers, we salute your courage, we salute your integrity, we salute your transparency, and we salute your great hard work in making sure that Borno State is the template of engineering development of infrastructure in Nigeria and a better life for Nigeria. Thank you very much. God continue to bless you. Congratulations, sir.
Thank you very much. Thank you very much.
Welcome, sir.
Thank you very much, Engineer Mokolo FNSC, and thank you very much, Engineer Professor Babagana Zulum, His Excellency, the Executive Governor of Borno State. I'd also have us know that the Nigerian Society of Engineers Glasgow branch is in the process of signing an MOU with the NSE Maiduguri branch, which will also tally into with the national president as well to see how we can bring up this capacity development to the Borno State as a whole. Thank you very much once again, Your Excellency, and thank you all for your patience so far. In the same vein, I'll just continue, Engineer Mokolo, if you don't mind, to present. I'll probably filter out the. Okay, I see a hand up from the NSC chairman of Maiduguri branch, Engineer Babagana Tella. You want to respond or congratulate His Excellency briefly? You have 30 seconds, if you don't mind. Just unmute yourself for 30 seconds. Engineer Babagana Modu Tella. Chairman NSC Maiduguri branch, Engineer Babagana Tella. If you unmute yourself for just 30 seconds, quickly. Thank you.
Thank you very much for having our dear distinguished Professor Babagana Umar Zulum, for recognizing him and awarding him this award. We really appreciate as a branch and the entire members of the engineering family in the state. Indeed, he has done a lot. We need to mention some of his achievements. However, due to the time, but we'll provide these some of the achievement we have so far recorded, and a lot of achievement is going on. I also urge all the branch to look at ways to put our engineers as a governor. His achievement is a clear manifestation that in the terms of affairs of an engineering, they will do better.
Thank you.
And
Yes.
this achievement indeed is on entirely the state. Of course, the MOU is going on, and will brief His Excellency appropriately at the content and where we are trying to sign this MOU.
Awesome.
So thank you very much for giving this great award to our distinguished Professor Wagana Marazilum. Indeed,
Thank you.
I congratulate the branch. I congratulate His Excellency. This is a timely, and also the whole world has known his achievement.
Exactly. Thank you very much, Engineer Teller. Thank you so much for that response. And thank you so much, Engineer Teller. And thank you so much again. Congratulations once again to His Excellency Engineer Professor Babagana Zulum. And yes, indeed, engineers at the helm of affairs have done really greatly in Nigeria. And that is why we are recognizing their efforts at this very auspicious occasion. We also have another engineer governor, His Excellency Engineer Abdullahi Sule, Executive Governor of Nasarawa State, who we're going to award as well. I guess we'll be awarding in absential, or we'll still hang on in case he joins much later. And also another engineer governor, His Excellency Engineer David Umahi. But while Engineer Mokolo is still on standby, thank you for your patience, IPP. If you please also present the Outstanding Leadership Award to His Excellency the Ambassador Sarafuddin Ishola, Nigerian High Commissioner to the United Kingdom, who is ably represented by the Deputy High Commissioner. Engineer Mokolo, please.
Yeah, thank you very much. On behalf of the Nigerian Society of Engineers Glasgow branch, it's my singular honor and privilege to present to His Excellency Ambassadors Sarafuddin Ishola, the Nigerian High Commissioner to the UK, this outstanding leadership award in recognition of your exceptional leadership and outstanding achievements on this day, 11 September 2021. Congratulations, sir, and thank you for supporting us. Congratulations.
Thank you so much. If you can unmute yourself, yes.
I really, on behalf of the High Commissioner, I want to sincerely convey his appreciation to the organizers of this auspicious organization for the wonderful and very cheering aspect you have been doing all this time. Well, I'm going to relay this message to him, and I hope he is going to get in touch with the organizer himself by the time he comes back. Thank you, and God bless you. Thank you.
Thank you very much. Thank you very much, Ambassador Suleiman, for that response. On behalf of His Excellency, the Nigerian High Commissioner to the United Kingdom. We also have an Outstanding Leadership Award for the President of Koren. I think he was around briefly, but probably stepped out, so we'll probably come back to that. And of course, to our own president of the Nigerian Society of Engineers. He's been very supportive of this branch. He established it with council and of course has been always there for us. He's been an outstanding leader, and therefore I call on Engineer Mokolo to present the award to the National President of the Nigerian Society of Engineers, Engineer Mohammed Babagana.
Yeah, thank you very much. Well, as always, it's indeed a great pleasure and privilege for me to always celebrate my president, Engineer Mohammed Babagana of NSE, the president of the Nigerian Society of Engineers. So on behalf of the Nigerian Society of Engineers, Glasgow branch, which you have inaugurated today, they are presenting to you, sir, the Outstanding Leadership Award in recognition of your exceptional leadership and outstanding achievements on this day, 11th September 2021. Congratulations, sir. And I wish you God's grace as you do more work for the upliftment of the Nigerian Society of Engineers.
Thank you, sir. Thank you, sir.
Congratulations to the NSE president. I think he's probably stepped here briefly. Great. And finally, I'll still crave your indulgence, Engineer Mokolo, to present this one to the guest speaker today, whose speech will be resounding for a very long time to come from what he has presented today. And of course, he's a very reputable erudite scholar, a legend. He's been described by many, vice-chancellor of many vice-chancellors, Emeritus Professor Olufemi Bamiro, for his outstanding leadership in Nigeria and beyond.
Thank you very much.
Oh,
well,
sir, sorry, I think the president probably wants to respond. Sorry, I probably went too fast with that. Engineer Babagana Mohammed, National President.
I was actually going to say that the president, I want to step down for the president to present this to our own.
So you can go ahead, sir. You can go ahead. I was a deputy president. Please go ahead, sir. Go ahead. You cannot step down. Go ahead. Go ahead.
Okay, President. I thought you stepped out briefly. Well, that's fine. Okay. All right, thanks.
Yeah.
Okay, should I go ahead?
Yes,
go ahead,
please.
Sir.
Okay. On behalf of the Nigerian Society of Engineers, Glasgow branch, we're presenting to you this plaque for Outstanding Leadership Award. To you, sir, Emeritus Professor Engineer Olufemi Bamiro, former Chancellor of University of Ibadan, and the guest lecturer at the inauguration of Glasgow branch of the Nigerian Society of Engineers, in recognition of your exceptional scholarship, exemplary leadership, and outstanding achievements on this day, 11 September 2021. Congratulations, sir.
Thank you very much. Thank you very much. I'm indeed grateful for this award. Thank you very much. While wishing, the branch, success. I can assure you, it's an opportunity. I continue to identify, with your branch. Actually, this is the first time I've been interacting with any branch outside of Nigeria. And from what you have done and plan to do, honestly, I'm sure many will follow your step and for the good of this nation. Because this nation has the capacity, both internal and external, and we must leverage. Other countries have used their external expertise for the development of their nation state. I think Nigeria must not be an exception. And thank you very much.
Thank you very much. So thank you very much, the Emeritus Professor Olufemi Bamiro, for that wonderful speech. And yes, of course, NSE Glasgow branch will be very glad to enjoy your support as we work to bring engineering capacity development in Nigeria. And very many thanks, Engineer Mukolu, FNSC, the immediate past president of the NSE, for helping to present these awards. Really appreciate it. Thank you so much.
Thank you very much. You're welcome.
Thanks a lot. So before I invite my co-MC, who will be also calling some other dignitaries for goodwill messages, we'll just take this quick message from her. Awesome. And then I'll stop sharing my screen. And yes, I'd like to invite now Engineer Dr. Mrs. Olufumilade Akingbagbo. I hope I got that right, FNSC, the Deputy Chair, NIMEC-E, and the former Chairperson of NSE Ikeja Branch, who will be handling the next section of the program to call on other dignitaries for goodwill messages and also recognize some of the messages that you have passed on along. Engineer Dr. Mrs. Olufumilade Akingbagbo, over to you. If you can unmute yourself, please.
Thank you very much, Engineer Dr. Emmanuel Salifu. It's been a wonderful program all this while. I've been enjoying myself thoroughly, especially from the emeritus professor, Professor Olufemi Bamiro, who was also one of our very, very senior lecturers where we were in University of Ibadan. So we appreciate him for being able to speak to us today. I would like to start by recognizing the presence of past president of the Nigerian Society of Engineers, who has been on the platform even before I got in on this platform this afternoon. Engineer Ademola Isaac Olorunfemi, FNSC, has been on the platform even before the 2 o'clock that we started this program. I would like to take a goodwill message from him. I would also like to recognize, in no particular order, Vice President of the Nigerian Society of Engineers. I'll take her first because she's the only female there. That's Engineer Aishatu Ali Umar, FNSC, former National Chairman, the Nigerian Institution of Civil Engineers, the first female to be the National Chairman of the Civil Engineers in Nigeria, and also Vice President of the Nigerian Society of Engineers. You're welcome.
Thank you, ma.
Platform for a long time.
Thank you, ma'am. Thank you.
I would also like to recognize, she's looking beautiful this afternoon. I would also like to recognize the presence of another Vice President of the Nigerian Society of Engineers, Engineer Goodluck Nwodo, FNSC, FNI Maki, who is also on this platform this afternoon. Please, can you unmute yourself very quickly, Engineer Nwodo? Good luck. Okay. I'd also like to recognize the presence of another Vice President of the Nigerian Society of Engineers, Engineer Adeniro Felix Ibitoye, a fellow of the Nigerian Society of Engineers and a fellow of the Nigerian Institution of Mechanical Engineers. You're on the platform, please, can you unmute yourself?
Thank you so much. I'm watching. Thank you.
You're welcome. I would like to recognize the presence of another National EXCO member, Engineer Dr. Abdurrashid Babalola, FNSC. Please, can you just say hello to everyone this afternoon?
Thank you for having me. Congratulations to all our youth. Thank you, sir.
All right. I would like to also recognize the presence of former national chairman. Oh, let me take Vice President. We have 3-time Vice President of the Nigerian Society of Engineers on the platform, Engineer Mrs. Margaret Aino Oguntala, FNSC. I can say hello to everyone, madam. You're welcome. She's the 3-time Vice President of the Nigerian Society of Engineers.
Hello, good afternoon, everyone. It's been a great pleasure being part of this inauguration. I congratulate the President of NSE, the Chairman of Glasgow branch, and the entire members. Of course, I congratulate myself for being part of the program too. Thank you very much.
Thank you. We also have another 3-time Vice President of the Nigerian Society of Engineers on this platform this afternoon, Engineer Joseph Olatunde Akinteye, a fellow of the Nigerian Society of Engineers. He's also on this platform this afternoon. Please, can you unmute yourself and say hello to everyone?
Thank you very much, Engineer Timbagbo. Congratulations to Mr. President of NSC, Engineer Babagana Mohammed, and of course the chairman, Engineer Shum, and the ESCO members and the entire membership of Glasgow branch.
Thank you very much. I can hear past president of the Nigerian Society of Engineers talking behind the scene. I'd recognize you, Engineer Ademola Isaac Olorunfemi, FNSC. You are muted. Please, can you say hello to everyone this afternoon?
Yeah, thank you, Fumi, my sister and wife. I'm sorry, a couple of times I've asked to unmute. I didn't know I've unmuted. So thank you. I actually came into this meeting on 10 minutes to 2, and I've enjoyed myself. It's always a pleasure listening to my Egbon, Professor Bamiro, whom I've known for several decades now. Exemplary scholar and very practical person. Mr. President, congratulations. It's a good thing. This is the second time in the last 2 months or thereabout. Congratulations, Chairman, Manchester Branch. I made it a point to honor this invitation despite some competing demands. You've been doing a good job, and I can see you going higher and higher. There's so much Glasgow branches can add to NSC and to Nigeria, and I'll ask you all to keep up the good works. Let's continue looking at how you can impact on Nigeria. Like the moderator called it, he said it's brain, he said it's not brain gain. I can't remember what he said. Whatever it is.
Brain circulation.
Circulation, I love that. I once did a paper on brain drain to brain gain. So I'm hearing this for the first time. Yet another takeaway. Congratulations. I'm so glad to be here.
Thank you very much, sir. I would like to recognize the presence of National Chairman for Facility Division of the Nigerian Society of Engineers, Engineer Olufemi Onofowokon. Is joining us all the way from the US. Engineer Onofowokon, can you unmute yourself very quickly and give a goodwill message to the newly born baby of the Nigerian Society of Engineers?
Yes, thank you, everybody. Are you hearing me?
We can hear you, sir.
Now, well, I congratulate the speaker, Professor Pamiro. The speech was very good, and but I have a problem because even though I think part of what I'm going to say in the speech, the important transfer and application of technology to our national development, because we have quite a number of industries that are closed down because most of their equipment cannot be managed due to the inexperience of our people in managing the technologies. So I think we should seriously embed the maintenance of most of these technologies being brought into the country by the industries. I will appreciate that because if our industries are working very well, it will be very good. So I will strictly encourage that bringing technology into the country is not just the thing. It's not just the thing. The maintenance of those things must be encouraged. I thank Glasgow for this because well, my brother was not a member because he's dead now. Was a student in Glasgow before, and he was a very good engineer. I congratulate Glasgow chapter for this inauguration. Thank you, Mrs. Mrs. Fumi Akigbon.
Thank you very much, sir. Thank you, sir.
Thank you very much for informing me about this inauguration. God bless you.
Thank you, sir.
Thank you, everybody.
Thank you. Also like to quickly recognize the presence of a former national chairman of the Nigerian Institution of Mechanical Engineers. I'll take the mechanical first because that's my discipline. I'd like to recognize Engineer Professor Adisilo, a fellow of the Academy of Engineering, a fellow of the Nigerian Society of Engineers, and a fellow of the Nigerian Institution of Mechanical Engineers. Engineer Professor Bello, can you unmute yourself very quickly?
Thank you very much, Engineer Mrs. Fumilade Akingbagbo, our incoming national chairman. Thank you so very much.
Thank you, sir. Thank you very much. I would also like to recognize the presence of the former national chair of Nigerian Institution of Electrical Electronics Engineers, Engineer Adekunle Makinde, FNSC, FNIAAA.
Thank you very much, my beloved sister engineer, Mrs. Fumilade Akingbagbo, FNSC, FNIAAA. Once again, I just want to appreciate and congratulate our indefatigable president, the president of the Nigeria Society of Engineers, Engineer Babagana Mohammed, FNSC. I mean, we can see the results of some of the work over the years, and I cannot but just congratulate him. Of course, my heartfelt congratulations goes to the newest baby in the family of the NSE, Glasgow branch of the NSE. I can see they have hit the ground running. They are not wasting time at all. They've been working over the time. And it's a very heartwarming development. Of course, to our erudite and wonderful professor, Professor Olufemi Bamiro, it was a very powerful one, thought-provoking, thought-inspiring. And of course, there's a whole lot for us to do. Let me just keep it at that. Congratulations all. God bless us all.
Thank you very much, Engineer Makinde, FNSC, FNIAAA. I would like to quickly take some goodwill messages before I read some of the messages on the chat. I would like to start with Engineer Mrs. Margaret Guntala, FNSC, to give us a 1-minute goodwill message to the new baby of NSC. Engineer Mrs. Margaret Guntala, please.
Thank you, Dr. Mrs. My IPC herself, Capacity Deputy National Chair. Well, like I said earlier, and in the chat room, I'm very delighted to be part of this program. The Glasgow branch has hit the ground running and has achieved so much in the little space of time. And I believe that a lot has been said about the branch today, a lot of good things and commendations. And this, of course, means that you have to do a lot more. So while congratulating Dr. Shehu Adedino and his team, I urge you to continue the good works and to continue to develop the capacity that you are known for. And also, of course, to continue to partner with us here, as you have been doing, and continue to fly the flag of the Nigerian Society of Engineers higher in Scotland. Congratulations once more. Thank you.
Thank you very much. I think Engineer Dr. Mr. Mulade is probably having a bit of network challenge. Thanks a lot for your goodwill messages. Thank you for congratulating the branch. The NSE Glasgow is actually poised to contribute to the development of Nigeria as much as possible. In the last 12 months, as you see from the topics read out by Dr. Oli, who are presenting the awards, we've been having discussions in our webinar series to see how we can export knowledge and enhance collaboration. I think Engineer Dr. Olufemilade is back, no?
Okay, thank you very much. I would like to call Engineer Joseph Akinte, FNSC, to give a goodwill message, 1 minute, to the new baby of NSE.
Thank you very much, my beloved sister. Once again, I want to congratulate Mr. President and the chairman of the new baby in the family. I would like to throw in line with the lecture of our erudite professor, that the new branch needs to partner with we that are home in order to take this country to the greater height. In terms of development, we are far behind. And with the cooperation of those that are out there and we that are at home, we'll be able to build this country to every height. Once again, congratulations and God bless you.
Thank you very much. I would like to take another goodwill message from another three-time vice president. We have a lot of them in the house this afternoon. I would like to take another one from Engineer Felix Adeniro Ibitoye, a fellow of the Nigerian Society of Engineers. Please, can you give a goodwill message to NSE Glasgow?
Thank you so much, my sister. I also want to congratulate, they have congratulated the chairman, the guest speakers, and everybody. But let me say this, that I want to congratulate the founding fathers of the Nigerian Society of Engineers for their initiative. I could say today that this is really my birthday gift for the branch to have organized this, because today I clocked 51 on Earth. And I want to appreciate the branch for this well-organized program. I was actually present, physically present at Imperial College, London, during the inauguration of UK branch, before it transformed to 3 today, which is London, Manchester, and Glasgow branches. I can say that these 3 branches have launched NSE into global world with their programs and activities. I just want to encourage you that you keep engaging people with capacity and capabilities to promote and project the image of our society through professionalism. So on behalf of the government and the good people of my state, Osun State, which I'm one of the cabinet members, I say congratulations to all the engineering family on this auspicious occasion. So I remain Engineer Adeniro Ibitoye Felix, KLM, Kilomodema, the only Wazobia engineer of the Nigerian Society of Engineers. Thank you so much.
Thank you very much.
Are we doing well with time? I think the NSE president has already informed that this program should not exceed 2:30. So on that note, and NSE engineer Babagana Mohammed, if we can, Engineer Charles can give the vote of thanks now. Why after that we can still continue other vote of thanks? Why the president disclosed the ceremony closed. So on that note, I would like to hand over to the General Secretary of the NSE Glasgow branch, Engineer Charles Okafor, fellow of IMEKI, and also the members society, Nigeria Society of Engineers, MNSE. Over to you, Engineer Charles.
Thank you very much, Dr. Shimon. And a very special thank you to everyone. However, I must thank Professor Bamiro for making out the time. I know when we discussed with him about coming up, the message has been clear, and I think it's for us to go away with the information. There is a need for collaboration and capacity building, and we must have to take it on board. I want to equally thank the Deputy Ambassador for making out time. I remember that going there, it wasn't possible to get the ambassador, but short notice, he was able to step in. And I want to thank you for coming up. Also, I must not fail to appreciate the person of Dr. Sunday Popola, Associate Professor. This man has been a kind of a staunch supporter. He has been helping. And I believe he's on here now. These are people that have helped to build the foundation. Also, I want to specially thank the likes of Engineer Sunday Obenho. He has been a formidable force, helping in every capacity. And though being the chief host, Engineer Bagana, I must not fail to thank you here. You have been a force also for the formation of this branch. I remember vividly the meeting that we have one night, and one of the things you were keen to do was get your engineers. There were issues that is not primary or doesn't primarily have anything to do with NSE. You decided to step in. And I remember asking, this is not an NSE. And you asked, Charles, are you the one going to believe it? Gather our engineer. That day, I can't forget it. You have been there. The idea is to gather your engineers anywhere they are, and we will continue to see how we could continue to build this capacity. Also, the likes of Engineer Rabiu, I want to thank you especially for, at least I know you were here, and if you have stepped out, these are the people that has made this whole thing today to be what it is. I must also thank Professor Odigure and many more. The list is endless. I want to thank you especially. And our United Kingdom branches, your effort, your support so far is well appreciated. Members of the branch, I want to thank you for how we have been working together, looking at ways of exploring ideas. All these things will go back, to help in building capacity, developing our engineers locally. Everyone that has made out a minute or two to be on this program today, you have contributed immensely, because today you have made this program to be a history. Thank you very much. And I wish to hand over to Dr. Emmanuel.
Thank you very much, Engineer Charles, for that wonderful vote of thanks. Of course, we can't mention all your names. You've been very supportive and cooperative throughout this very program. Thank you all. We see all the messages in the chat box, we acknowledge all of you for your goodwill messages and of course, your goodwill towards the newly inaugurated branch, NSE Glasgow branch, Scotland, United Kingdom. At this point, I would now hand over to the National President to declare the event closed. But then we can all hang on. The Zoom meeting will be left open. We can discuss network, meet and greet and all of that afterwards. So I'd like to call on the National President, Engineer Mohammed Babagana FNSC, to declare this event closed, and then we can have the meet and greet afterwards. President, sir. I probably stepped out. Okay, in his absence, I would...
No, I'm on.
Okay.
Can you hear me?
Yeah,
yes.
My president, we are waiting for you to declare event closer.
I want to appreciate everybody for coming, and NSE Glasgow branch, you have done something very well. And then for those of us who are going from one place to another, I wish you a safe journey back to your parents' station. And Glasgow, I want to see more progressive advocacies, because that's why we are here. You can see the caliber of people who came and took part in this year. I just got a call from the governor of Nasarawa State, his apology. Just got a call from him. So please accept his apology. It's unfortunate he's somewhere blocked. These are the situations, but it is well. We appreciate our leaders for being there for all of us. And to His Excellency, my brother, Governor Zulu, there's nothing we can say, but our prayers are always with you, and the Gula will be with you. Thank you, and God bless everybody. Thank you. Thereby, I declare this conference closed.
Thank you very much.
Thank you, sir.
Well, thank you, everybody. Thank you, thank you, thank you.
Thank you, Professor.
Thank you, Professor. Congratulations, NSE Glasgow.
Thank you very much.
Thank you very much.
Thanks a lot.
Congratulations for the job well done, NSE Glasgow branch.
Thank you so much, Engineer Sally.
Congratulations, Shehu. Congratulations, Emmanuel and Kofa. I hope to see you physically someday. You've done a great ceremony. Like I said in my chat, private chat to the chairman, Engineer Dr. Adedino, Shehu Adedino, that you have now benchmarked the ceremony in NSE. This is really a benchmark ceremony. So I wish you all the best. Congratulations. The umpire will just.
Let me join the president.
Thank you so
Let me
much.
join our past president, Engineer Adekule Mokolu, in congratulating our own dear brother. Thank you very much for this You have done it well. This is wonderful. In fact, the way you are going now, I wonder what will happen to our branches in Nigeria, because I can see the diaspora branches making.
You're muted.
And engineer Ibitoye KLM, sir. Don't worry, we accommodate branches from Nigeria if there's no room for them.
No, I'm not saying there are no rooms. There are rooms, but you're only challenging us. But we are ready to be challenged, and we'll move away from there. Actually, you have done it.
Thank you very much, sir. Thank you, sir.
When people were around, you didn't allow us to recognize past president of APOINT. They were on the chat. Past president of APOINT, engineer Dr. Patricia Okpenodili was online. The former national chairman, safety.
Are they still online, ma?
They have left now.
Oh, so apologies. It's just that we've been given.
I saw him inside the car and I was already driving, He was already about leaving the office. Well done, congratulations to everyone. It's a nice one.
Pop champagne. Dr. Fumi.
What of the birthday cake for Engineer Ibitoye?
Yes, birthday cake. So where's my birthday cake? The chairman.
Congratulations, well, I'm not in charge of the program. We'll have sung happy birthday to you.
I think we can still sing happy birthday.
I appreciate it.
We can still sing it.
Happy birthday to you. Happy birthday. We are
we can still sing it. So
Dr. Shehu, please sing happy birthday to me.
You will sing for so many people. Oh. My own was yesterday. Oh.
We will include this.
We're talking of present.
Present. You are not past.
Yesterday was 7 years. 6, 7. And I just celebrated
Engineer Wodo, when I called you, you were not available.
I was available. I was struggling to speak for the team, but later I sent you a chat that I have been able to unmute myself.
Okay. Congratulations to your team, to your team as Vice President of the Nigerian Society of Engineers. You have done well. I know that my guy, Engineer Mukolu, was the one that started from the foundation of this branch. Engineer Mukolu did a lot of work, and the work continued with your tenure. Congratulations to everyone.
Thank you very much.
I also want to congratulate the Glasgow branch for wonderful work. Has been a very good one. I've been online since morning to join you on this program. And I also want to say I'm happy to be on this call. So congratulations to Glasgow branch chairman and to the president of the Civilian Service Engineers and chairman in council. This is a great high already, and I hope that will continue to build on it. Congratulations and God bless you.
I think a woman should speak. I can say Engineer Lulu Adedapo, I see online. Engineer Adedapo, FNSC, former appointee for Lagos. Please just say something to Glasgow branch, because I know one of your children went there to school. So do a goodwill message to them very quickly.
Thank you, Engineer Fumi Akingbagbo. It's a real honor and pleasure to be with you all. Glasgow. We were with Engineer Popola, was it about two years ago, before the COVID era. And now seeing Glasgow coming out of UK and London branch. Congratulations to all members of Glasgow and everybody in UK. Congratulations.
Thank you.
Thank you, ma'am.
I had my name mentioned quite a few times. What have I done to deserve this?
You don't have any choice. I still remember that dinner. I still remember the dinner we had with you.
What have I done to deserve that measure?
We continue to mention your name.
Yes. When you mention my name these days, I spent about 6 months in Nigeria this year.
And you did see
And
us.
people
And
mention my
also
name.
see very quickly, Dr. Emmanuel. I can
When
see
people mention
Professor
my
Mike
name now, they
Faborode
have to.
online.
They have to.
Yes.
Can we take Professor Mike Faborode is online also. Let's just, he has put his message in the chat box. Professor Mike Faborode, FNSC.
Okay, Motil.
Are you there?
Yes.
Yeah, good afternoon. And I just reiterate my congratulations to the Glasgow branch. Coming after the Manchester inauguration just about a month ago. This is very progressive. And I've said you have enough on your plate now, given by Professor Bamiro, so that you can begin to help us take Nigeria out of the doldrums. And as the president has said, we must work with the local branches. And let's see how we can network and get NSE right on top of Nigerian development. Thank you very much. And more grease to your elbow. Yeah.
Thank you, sir. I can also see former executive secretary of NSE, Engineer Ola Taiwo, who is also a former chairman of NSE Apapa branch, is online. Please, can you unmute yourself? It's been a while we've seen you. Engineer Ola Taiwo, can you unmute yourself very quickly and just say something to our new baby? I think I also saw the current chairman of Apapa branch online, Engineer Christian Ufort was also online.
I think a lot of people they've left. So
So I think there are enough messages in the chat box, enough congratulatory messages in the chat box to make do with. So thank you very much, Engineer Dr. Shion Adediro, for the opportunity to work with your team. Thank you very much.
Very many thanks, Madam. Thanks for joining us. Thanks for all your support.
Thank you.
We
so
appreciate you. And I'm sure that by the time we are doing a summit in Glasgow next year,